I forget.
I have no idea.
That's Aerosmith. What It Takes.
Okay.
Tell me what it takes. That's my favorite Aerosmith song.
Okay.
That's a good song.
Okay.
I wrote off Aerosmith
Did
at
you?
one point. Yeah, I was just like, screw them. I'm not listening anymore. But then you go back and listen to some of that. What It Takes is the best Aerosmith song in my opinion.
Okay.
And then some of that stuff from the '90s is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I like the crazy stuff and all that.
There isn't much from the 90s that's bad.
No, you're right. Overall.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great. I can't do it.
No.
Great Measures.
Good luck to you if you try.
Great Measures.
Steven Tyler is,
League of His Own, dude.
yeah, another level. We're going to revisit Gojira.
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 Didn't they have a big gig recently?
They did at the Olympics.
Yeah,
Paris. The opening
that's a pretty
ceremonies.
big gig, I think.
Yeah, they did. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the first song we ever did by Gojira was from the album L'Enfant Sauvage. I think, is that how we said that? So we're going to revisit that album. That song was Born in Winter. This song is called The Gift of Guilt. That's pretty much it.
What song do they play at the Olympics?
I can't pronounce it. I think it's French.
I read a little bit about it, having to do with French history, sort of.
Yeah, there was a Marie Antoinette reference in there.
Guillotine,
A lot of pyrotechnics.
blood, and
It was cool. It was a really good performance.
yeah, I saw that people dug it. That's a gig. Hey
That's-
guys,
Yeah.
somebody said somebody's playing the Olympics. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Nah.
And here in the States, we can't even get Metallica to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl. We got Beyonce or whoever. I don't know.
Well, she's done it before.
I'll go off.
Yeah.
Let me shut up.
Well,
All right.
Snoop Dogg won't do the Super Bowl, but he'll commentate or he'll
Yeah, and cheer on the swim team.
play by play at the Olympics.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the world today.
Probably you got to put Snoop Dogg as one of the greatest rappers of all time because
Sure.
he's still around.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
just based on longevity alone.
Yeah, I think he gets skipped over a lot, you know. And I mean, it's one of those things where you look ahead and you think, what am I going to be doing? You know what?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's doing.
Yeah. What will I be doing?
He's the color commentator.
35 years into my career.
Well, color commentator. I wasn't.
30 years into my career, what will I be doing? Oh, I'll be at the Olympics.
Right, you told him back when he's a dog father. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you're gonna be the guy commentating that funny
Yeah.
stuff.
All right, Gojira, The Gift of Guilt.
All right, here we go.
Gojira, The Gift of Guilt.
Proceed, Richard. Something like that. Whatever. But the end is cool, that whole.
Very cool.
Yeah, that walk down thing is something that's used a lot in music, but I like
What are those chords?
they're in F minor. But then when they do that whole boom, boom, then the chorus, that goes to C minor. But the walk down is the E flat, then the D flat, and then the C. And anything that does something like that, that hypnotic,
Yeah.
if you hang on to it the whole time, it's just, that's good songwriting in my opinion.
I like how they bring it back at the end and they just like, because it's like they wrote it and they were like, yeah, people are gonna dig this. Let's focus
That's
on
called
it.
a hook.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just carry it all the way out to the end.
Yeah.
And then the small change at the end where they walk it down.
Yeah. Be cool if there was a guitar solo at the end or something, because you could murder a
jam
guitar
over that, yeah.
solo on that.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be interested in stuff like that. They'll just hang on to the thing. And
From what we've heard, yeah.
Stranded did that, where they just hang on to whatever they're doing. What do you think?
And the Flying Whales song, like the intro is that same riff for like 2.5 minutes essentially. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to you hang on to something like that. Meshuggah does that. Mm-hmm. They just hang on to it and they just chug it. They just keep it.
But I'm also of the opinion that when you hang on to something that long, the change better be good.
Yeah, sure.
Because if it's not,
yeah.
You've
But
dropped
I mean
the ball.
that song's in basically two chords. It just basically goes to. I mean, really, is another chord, but they stay on that. They keep the F on the bottom. That's really 3 chords or something. But I mean, it's basically 2 chords, and I don't know. However, they do that when they go, and then they do that little sounding harmonic thing that whatever. I'm sure it's just holding something, but so cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. I don't want to say straightforward musically but we've said this many times. Simple is
Yeah.
is if you can find the thing, and becomes meditative at some point. It's just you start floating on their wavelength. If it's like you say, and then to add the walk down, it just reinforces it more. Depending on what the song's about, and you know what the lyrics are. And so that that thing is it sort of makes me think. Just I guess because I know what the song's about, it makes me think of being in reflection or and almost sort of an ominous. I mean, that sort of sounds like the Halloween.
Yeah, it does.
The Halloween theme.
The John Carpenter.
Yeah. So there's this sort of ominous thing, and the song's about guilt. I mean, what do you think the lyrics are about? It sounds to me as if they're. I mean, to ask you a question and then try to answer it, but it sounds to me like they're being thankful for guilt.
Yeah, I think that's the reason for the title, "The Gift of Guilt," because I think guilt has the ability to be a gift, but it also can destroy you.
If you stay in, there's a part in the lyrics where it says, despair, suffer. I can't remember the other term, but it was letting go of it or something. I can't remember what the term was they used, but it's a process, right? Guilt's a process.
Yeah.
That if you don't come out of, then you don't learn.
Well, I don't know if it's a matter of coming out of it. It's just how do you view it? Because I can stay in guilt, but I can allow that guilt to motivate me to be different.
Yeah, but it's got to be a process to get out. I mean, you realize that you can't hang on to that one particular part of it.
Sure. Yeah.
The guilt part of it, because guilt doesn't come by itself.
Right, but it also depends on how you view it. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Is like you can view guilt as an emotion, or you can view it as the act of being guilty.
Okay, I see what you. Well,
right. Like I can hang on my past transgressions and feel guilty about them, and if I allow myself to do that, it's not benefiting me at all. But if I can think about the guilt that I feel and use it to move forward, to be a better person, to not.
Well, so maybe guilt is 2 different things.
Right. That's kind of what.
So you are guilty. Right?
Yeah.
You committed this crime.
Yeah.
And then the feeling of guilt.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what you mean by.
Kind of, yeah. But I think the way I interpret the song is mostly the emotion of guilt.
That's what it sounds like.
And it's how I think that it's the gift of it is being able to use it to better yourself. I can sit around and I can dwell on the fact that I feel this guilt for something I did, or I feel this guilt for even a thought I had. But if I allow it to bring me down, then it's not a gift.
I think it only becomes a gift if you come out of it.
Okay.
I mean, you can't come out. You certainly can't come out of the idea of if I did this thing, I'm guilty of doing this thing. I'm always going to be guilty of having done this thing.
Sure. Okay.
But if I feel guilty for lying to you, I can resolve that by either telling you. Well, I guess that would be the only way to do it, really, is to come clean about it. But then the guilt of it, if you say, well, that's okay, I've forgiven you for lying to me, it's cool, the guilt goes away.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But if I don't, like you say, if you don't put action behind it and go and try to make it better, I mean, yeah, so being guilty of something never changes. You're guilty of it. So I guess it's just two definitions of the word. But and then maybe even it's a gift to someone else. You know, the first part of the song says something about arriving on the shores, and then there's mountains ahead. There's things to traverse ahead. Which is, I think, setting the scene for what guilt is, you know, to have to traverse tough terrain in order to get rid of it or to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it could also be a gift if I've lied to you and then I show you that I feel guilty for this, that can aid you in your process of forgiving me for it, and therefore us getting to a place where it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that's triggered by me, and I'm guilty of that. Mm-hmm. That never goes away, or that can never be resolved because it happened already and it stays there.
Yeah.
And it sort of mentions that thing, talks about the past and vultures and yeah, it has to be dealt with, mm-hmm. or else the feeling, the emotion never leaves.
Yeah. It's either you deal with it or it deals with you.
Well, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with Great Measures.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Gojira. Obviously, they write great music. They do different stuff with the pitch changes and all the crazy sounds that they can make with the harmonics and whatever else. But they're so hooky. They're so catchy. But then, we've done The Art of Dying and Flying Whales just as two examples. And there's so many different directions you can go lyrically. And their native language, or their I guess it's native language, is French. And they're writing these lyrics in English. Mm-hmm. So it's like that could get messed up so quickly and so easily. But the ability to write such open-ended lyrical passages that are open to interpretation is just cool to me.
That's why they're one of my favorite bands that we've done.
And they're not the only ones that do that, but they do it really well.
Sure, but you can really tell that they've had to go through some. I know we've talked about their process, having been through the death of mom.
The mom, yeah.
So they've been through, and they're brothers. Mm-hmm. So
Joe and Mario.
Yeah, there's some. You can tell they're bringing the pain. Me and my brother used to talk about all the time when we play. If somebody says, "Oh, that was really good," what was going on there? You say, "Pain, pain."
Yeah.
And you can hear it in there that it's like they're extremely. I don't want to say the word motivated, but more than motivated, like they're they can't not get this out there to or they have to get this out there to you. Mm-hmm. You have to hear this. Yeah. It's almost as if their life depends on you them, not necessarily you understanding it, but them being able to say it properly. Mm-hmm. And you can hear that even in the music and how the music is written.
Yeah, and I think another
contemplative. That's what I was looking for with that. It's a contemplative.
Okay, I think another attractive element to their songwriting and to their music in general is Joe's ability to sing harshly but sing melodically at the same time.
Yeah.
And it fits. It's always hooky. It always attracts your ear to it. Mm-hmm. And you have that ability to just kind of sit there and it's not uncomfortable, you know, even though it's harsh, even though it's not.
But it can be a
full
harsh
clean
subject
singing.
matter, yeah.
Yeah, it's not clean singing. It's not operatic. It's not pop music. It's very harsh and dirty, but the way the melody fits the song and his ability to do that, I think, is another attractive
still needs
thing.
there still needs to be beauty. I mean, there's still beauty in war.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you go look at individual things and there's beauty and sorrow and sadness. I mean, it's Shakespearean. That stuff is Shakespearean. So yeah, to have melody in the harshness is, I think, pivotal. If you're going to bring something real.
Yeah.
And none of their, like you said, none of their lyrics have been anything other than, you know, food for serious thought.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah.
Still don't even really know what they're talking. I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward, but I'm sure there's a story behind it. I'm sure there's a specific thing, but I don't care about the specificity of it. You know, I wish I remember that other word. It's despair, suffer, and something like acceptance or something. But yeah, let's look. What was it?
Embrace, suffer, destroy.
Embrace, suffer, destroy. Yeah, so that's the process of embrace the guilt, suffer it, and then destroy it,
Yeah.
right? What did I say? Despair? It doesn't matter. Embrace, suffer, destroy. Yeah. And even the order of those words really should be, you would think would be flipped. Destroy, suffer, and then embrace. But you have to embrace it, which I guess accept what it is, suffer it, and then destroy it. It's interesting to me.
Very interesting.
Well, I got dog.
It's in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures.
That was The Gift of Guilt by Gojira from L'Enfant Sauvage.
Very good.
Probably not.
Excuse our French.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.